reference your notes. What were we doing? We did mountains, hills, and rocks where we worked with the last time. What was the last thing we did before break? Ryan, you remember?
Decimals.
Not decimals.
Perimeter.
Perimeter, right? So we learned how to figure out the perimeter of a rectangle or a square. So my thought was, because we did that right before break, and then how many days we take off? Does our brain remember exactly how to do perimeter?
Yes.
Maybe some of us do, but I thought today would be a good day to warm up our brains, refresh our brains on perimeter. So today we're going to do perimeter. Tomorrow we're going to do area. And then Thursday I have a really fun interactive activity that we're going to do with area and perimeter together.
I love it.
Okay? So I know, Jackie, go ahead and put that away for me, please. No extra things out. No drawing, no fidgets, no nothing. Go ahead and get out your math notes. Look at Addie. She's already ready. And we're going to review our math notes on perimeter. But if you didn't already take them, maybe for some reason you were absent when we did them, this is your opportunity to get them in. So get your math notes out, please. Okay, remember. Class. Oh, that was very weak. Okay, let's try again. Class. Ooh, much better. Okay, please make sure when I say get your math notes out, that doesn't cause for you to talk. We're just getting our math notes out. Okay, so we are going to focus on the bottom section of our notes to discuss what perimeter is and go over the vocabulary, or go over the formula for it. Put the scissors away, please. Find them? Oh, here. This is it. This needs to be kept in a safe place, dude. I would put this in here. I would put it in here. So you know right where everything is. The less we have on our desk, the better we can stay organized. Okay, here's your math notes, buddy. Alright, so let's take a look at our first flap, which is what is the formula for perimeter? Alright, let's go over it. It's already right there. The main formula for perimeter is to do 2 times L. Who can remind me what the L represents? Logan. It doesn't stand for Logan? Length, not Logan. It stands for length. And then we are adding that to 2 times W. Kaylee, what's the W stand for? Width. So 2 times length plus 2 times the width. Or it can be written as 2L plus 2W. This one's right here, buddy. There you go. Okay. And then over here we wrote ourselves a key. P stands for perimeter. L stands for length. W stands for width. Lexi, did you have something to add?
I was just going to say, if people who follow on this know about both.
It's right there, right? Seeing who's paying attention. It's in our notes, seeing who's paying attention. Okay, let's look at an example of perimeter. And in our example, we drew a rectangle with a length of 7 inches, a width of 5 inches, and we used our formula and plugged in our numbers. 2 times 7 plus 2 times 5. We know 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 5 is 10. We add those two together and we get 24 inches as our perimeter. So today, before break, so 2 weeks ago, we watched the Brain Pop Junior video on perimeter, but there was several of us absent. So I think it'll be good for us to refresh our memories and watch that video one more time. Then we will do whiteboard practice and then do a new worksheet. The worksheet today is not in our reveal book, and it's only 6 questions, but it's going to test your ability to find perimeter. What if we knew the width of our object, but didn't know the length, but we knew the perimeter? Could we still solve?
Yes.
Okay, so remember, just because you maybe don't get the length, but you have the perimeter and the width, you are still able to do different types of math equations to solve for the length. Okay, Audrey, you have a question?
We never did example area.
We are going to area tomorrow, so we will add to our notes for area tomorrow. Jackie, what else did you have to add?
It was found that we don't know the length and we have the so I'm going to look at the example or 10 and you do 24.
Good, exactly. So you can use the numbers that you know, still plug them into our formula, and then solve for the missing number. Okay, let's take a look at our video real quick on Brain Pop. Mr. Noah, will you turn off all the lights? We'll make it nice and clear for everybody to see. Again, some of you, most of you that were here on the last day before break, you already watched this, but let's go ahead. Hopefully let's try. Oh, I need to get my volume. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, please hold.
Oh, my plate got late.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Where's my IT helper? What's happening, Mr. Ryan? Display is on.
Come on, Ryan. Fix it, Ryan.
Settings. I've got it plugged in. I'm using a different computer. It should still work.
Don't work.
I don't know. It should still work. It's all plugged in.
Close on the L and then maybe exit out of it.
Okay, hold on. Let's try a different video. Oh my goodness. Control yourselves, please, for a second. Let's just see.
This camera. 2.50.
Just see if this would work.
Is that all the teachers in the world?
What is happening?
Maybe
What?
it's maybe it's your settings and it's set to like internal.
All the people that
I don't know.
subscribe to Mathentics, like, everything's plugged in.
Yeah. And it's not even playing on my normal computer. Maybe I need to turn this on. Let's see if that makes a difference.
Turn Bluetooth on.
Bluetooth.
Do you have Bluetooth on?
Hold on, let's try this.
Bro, Bluetooth is
Bluetooth.
my pod.
Bluetooth.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Bluetooth. Come here.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I think I can help. Do the Bluetooth.
Laptop, PC. I don't get it.
I'm about to come over there and do it.
I'll go over there.
Go to settings.
But where are my settings for the sound? Oh, excuse me. You guys can control yourselves for 4.5 seconds.
Are all the cords plugged into the right place?
Yeah, all the cords are plugged
I'm
in.
going to type here to search and then type in settings.
Settings, okay.
Because you gotta make sure all the cords are going in the right place. So you can see. Settings.
Oh, that's not how you spell it. Oh dear. Pause. Settings here, maybe?
Settings.
Allow.
What would you go to, Ryan?
I'm going to try searching speaker.
Because it's because the other computer you just plug it right in and it works.
I have the same laptop as you just
Adjust volume. Sound settings.
Yeah, sound settings.
We might be getting somewhere, guys.
Oh, by the way, you need to start removing.
I already did. Thank you, though, Riley.
Okay. I
Sounds.
say don't say
Choose your input. Oh, wait.
Sound.
Try it looking at
Speaker.
try that.
Ooh. Sounds like something might have worked.
Yay!
Ryan gets to move his clip up. Let's do it. All right. Now we're rolling.
And Aiden, he helped.
Aiden was an assistant. You may move your clip up. He was here for moral support. Ryan, you're hired for technical things. All right, here we go with our perimeter video. Now what's
computer doesn't work.
The rabbits keep stealing our vegetables, Moby. We should build a fence around our class garden. First, we'll need to figure out the perimeter. What is perimeter? The perimeter is the total distance around something. You can think of the perimeter as an outline around something. The lines in the grass show the perimeter of the soccer field. The fences show the perimeter of each piece of land. The map shows the perimeter of each state. But you can also find the perimeter of small things, like my notebook.
Or Moby.
Good question, Moby. How do you find the perimeter? You can find the perimeter of a shape or figure by adding the lengths of all of its sides. Each side of this packet of seeds is 10 centimeters long. To find the perimeter, add the lengths together. 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. You can skip count by 10 to find the sum. 10, 20, 30, 40. The perimeter is 40 centimeters. Let's find the perimeter of the carrot section of the garden. To find the perimeter, add the lengths together. 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5. I know it's a long number sentence, so that's why I add the easier numbers first. Let's see. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So now I add 4 plus 3 plus 5. I know 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. 9 plus 3 is equal to 12. The perimeter of the carrot section is 12 feet. It's helpful to break up long number sentences into smaller ones to help you add. What's the perimeter of this shape? Add the lengths together to find out. 3 plus 5 plus 7. I know that 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. So the perimeter of the shape is 15 centimeters. Figuring out the perimeter can help you build or design things. We want to build a fence that goes around our class garden. What's the perimeter of the garden? I know our class garden is 6 feet wide and 4 feet long. Add up all of the measurements to find the perimeter. 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. I know that 6 plus 4 makes 10. So now I add 10 plus 10. That's equal to 20. The perimeter of the garden is 20 feet. Since we know the perimeter, we can figure out how much fencing we need to put around it. Then we can keep the rabbits out.
Oh my god.
Nice fence, Moby. I don't think any rabbits will get in our garden now, but I don't think we can get in either.
All right. So I think because what is our formula? What type of math operation does our formula from our notes tell us to do, Riley?
Multiply them.
It tells us to multiply, but is there another way that we can solve for perimeter by not multiplying? Lexi, what would it be? By adding all of what? All of the sides of our shape. So I think under our what's the formula for perimeter and our example, I think we should also add notes in that you can add them all together. So make sure you have your notes out and let's add these couple little additional notes Then we will move on to a little bit of whiteboard practice. Okay. This light is off. Let's go to, if we have our perimeter equals 2 times L plus 2 times W, or P equals 2L plus 2W, we could also put underneath that P equals length plus width plus width. Because 2L is the same as L plus L. Where's your notes? Start writing these. Follow along. No, we're adding. I just said that. L plus W is the same thing as 2L plus 2W. And then down on our example, we're just going to utilize the bottom of the page. It's okay if it's not hiding under your flap. If we were using these same numbers, who can help me? Addie. If I was going to use this formula of adding, what would my equation, how would I write that down here using the 7 and the 5? I know that perimeter is going to equal, Jackie, help her out. But don't tell me what it equals. Tell me how would we write it if we're using this strategy of addition.
7 plus 7.
7 plus 7, and then Melanie, finish it off.
5 plus 5.
Plus 7 plus 7 plus 5 plus 5. And when we add all those up, we know that it does equal 24. Okay? So it is my favorite number. So don't think that oh man, I'm not very good at multiplying and I have to multiply these numbers. You can also use addition to solve. Yes, ma'am, go to the restroom. Next time you need to go when we stop. Okay, once you get those notes added in, put them away and get your whiteboards out. We are going to do 2 or 3 different types of problems. Then I will give you your worksheets. Most of you will work independently. Some of you will work in small groups with me. I think we might do okay today. But I will let you know. Thank you, my dear. Yes. There's one right there. Get a paper towel.
Lights on.
Yes. Noah, lights on, please. Did you add these to your notes? Let me see them. Yes. When you were not here this morning. I think Jackie, I don't know if you have a job. I think you might actually. Jackie, you're my librarian. Good job. Good job, buddy. Good job putting them in there. All right. In a little bit. We're going to do whiteboard work first. But then, yes, sir, you may come back with me when it's that time, okay? Okay, if you need your notes out while we're doing whiteboard work, that is fine. There we go. Okay. Okay. So make sure that you are utilizing your notes if you need to, and also make sure that you are using the proper formula for perimeter to solve these problems. We'll start off easy. I know that the video showed a triangle, but we haven't really talked about how to find the perimeter of a triangle, but it's similar. You just add up all the sides. And addition for that would be better than our multiplication, right? Because you only have 3 sides on a triangle. But we will get to that. It's just my notes. Okay, also, we will do rectangles and we will do squares. What do we know about a square? Oh, raise your hand, please. Melanie, what do I know about a square? All of the sides are equal. That means if the bottom side is 5 inches, the sides are going to be 5 inches and the top is going to be 5 inches. So a square, all the sides will be the same. Is that the case for a rectangle? No, but how many sides will be the same length on a rectangle? Show me with your fingers. Show me with your fingers. Everybody, Charlie, you can show me? So 2 sides on our rectangle will be the same, and will the other 2 sides on the rectangle be the same?
No.
Yes, they will. Okay, here's your first one. We're going to solve for perimeter. So whichever strategy you like to use, either multiplication or addition, you are solving. Here we go. Sometimes you're also going to see squares, and sometimes you will see it because this Friday we're going to take a area and perimeter test. And sometimes on the test, you will just see something like this. Okay, if you only know one side of the square, are you able to solve for perimeter? Okay, go ahead and solve. Solve it on your whiteboards. If it's a square, we just said, what do we know about a square? So whether you use multiplication or addition, and I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. Yeah, this is easy. But it's a square, so could you solve for the perimeter? If it's a square, Melanie, what did you say about a square? What do we know?
Yeah, or just put 6.
All the sides are equal. So if we only know one length of the side, then we should pick. But you are correct, but now you need to solve for perimeter. You've written all the sides. Now what do you do with all those numbers?
Favorite is red stash.
Hold it up when you get it. I promise I didn't do that on purpose. The answer. Good. Laura, did you already hold yours up?
Your favorite number.
Stop it! I didn't do that on purpose, I swear.
He just said the number.
Okay, good. Good, Sal. So what was your answer?
44.
Good. That's what your answer is too? Awesome. Okay, so we know if this is 6 feet and we know it's a square, we have 6 feet all the way around. Then I can either do one of 2 things. What's one way I can solve it, Sebastian?
6 plus 6 equals 12. And the same thing.
Good. 6 plus 6 equals 12. 6 plus 6 equals 12. And then what do I do with my 12s?
12 plus 12 is 24.
12 plus 12 equals 24. So Sebastian chose to solve with addition. Who did it a different way? McKenna, what did you do? 6 times 4. Sit down, please. 6 times 4, because she has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 6 times 4 equals, Ezekiel, I need you to sit in your seat, please. Thank you. 6 times 4 is 24. That was easy, right?
I have a different way.
What was your way?
I did 6 plus 6 equals 12 times 2.
Or, good, she combined addition and subtraction. 6 plus 6 equals 12, and then she times it by 2 to get 24. Lexi, yes ma'am. That's what you were going to say? Okay, so whichever way is the best strategy for your own self, right? Because we're all different learners. Whichever way works for you to solve works as long as you get the correct answer. All right, erase your whiteboards. We're going to do a rectangle. Now, when I write these, when I write this first one, be thinking about what the first thing you're looking for. And I'm going to randomly pull a popsicle stick for you. Someone to tell me what is the first thing you're looking for when you are trying to find the perimeter of your object. There is your rectangle, and I've given you your length and your width. Melanie, what's the first thing that you look for? What's the first thing you do, or what you know about your object when you try to solve? What do you look for? So she looks for her, what's this one called? The, stands for the L. Length and the, so she's looking for her length and her width, because Melanie's smart and she knows if she has her length and her width, can she solve for the perimeter?
Yes.
Yes, she may.
Yes.
Hold it up when you're ready, when you think you have your answer. So draw your rectangle and draw, you know, the length and the width. And then how do you solve? job. Keep going, Sal. Yes. Laura, I think you meant Terry, not Ryan.
So that was Terry that
Wait, what? You wrote this here, but you wrote that there. Absolutely. Perfect. Oh my gosh, we're so smart today. I did see it. We are so smart.
26.
Okay, so Salvador, I want you to come up and show us how you solved, because I noticed the strategy that Salvador was using. That was very helpful. We wrote, you were given the length of one side and the width of one side. So what Salvador was doing was super important to help him understand how to solve. Go ahead, what'd you do? Good. Because Salvador knows if the top length is 10, then the bottom length is also. And then if the side width is 3, then this side is also. Good, and then what did you do?
And then I knew that 10 plus 10 is 20, so 20.
Good, go ahead and write it. You can do 10 plus 10 is 20. That way you keep track. 10 plus 10 equals what? And then keep going. What's the next thing you did? Shh.
Then do 10 plus 10 is 9. And then 3 plus 2.
Jackie, go get your lunch up front. And then what's the next thing you did? You did 10 plus 10. And then what'd you do? Well, hold on. You got this. Now what do you have to do with these two? Plus 3. What does that equal? And then you have to do, so then plus 3 more. And what does that equal? Good. So thumbs up if you agree that the perimeter is 26. Is this the only way to solve?
No.
What's another way that you can solve it? Avery.
You can also do
10
10 times 2.
times 2 would give us 20, and then what else?
Then 3 times 2.
And then 3 times 2 gives us,
6.
and then what do you do with those two numbers? Add them. 20 plus 6, and we also get 26. So remember, there's multiple ways you can solve. Use the strategy that works best for you. Yes, Lexi. Lexi, go ahead. Okay, show us how you did it. Oh, there you go. You just kept them on top of each other. Perfect. That works too. All right, we're going to do one more. Good job. Thank you, ma'am. One more, and I may or may not give you the length or the width. Remember, how many numbers do you need to have in order to solve for perimeter? Show me with your fingers. How many do you have to have? How many do you have to have? Rob? How many do you have to have, Aiden? In order to solve for perimeter. Because if I just give you the length and say, unless it's a square does not count. If I give you a rectangle and I only tell you the length and say, figure out what the perimeter is, can you do that?
Alright.
No. You have to at least have 2 numbers when it comes to a rectangle in order to solve for the perimeter. Sometimes we ask you to solve for something else. That's what we're going to do right now. Last practice one. Yes. Okay, last one. We're going to do one more, but I'm going to give you the perimeter. Perimeter equals, so give me a second so I can be thinking about what I want to do. I might make it a little harder.
Yay.
Give you a bigger number. Can you wait 1 second? Oh, you just came up. Hold on, let's give someone else a chance. Okay, here we go. We're going to go 15 yards. And the perimeter is 50 yards. But I've only given you the length. So you need to solve for, what's this side called, Addie? Do you remember? The length and the, so you need to solve for the width. So width equals what? That's what we are trying to solve. So draw the rectangle. Put your numbers in that you know. Solve for the widths. Okay. Okay. So do you know what the perimeter is? So now, what do you know? What do you do with these two numbers? Okay. What was that? I like that. So add those up. Start with that. But remember, that would be what we have left over. And in order, we have how many sides? How many width sides? So what do we do with that? Good. Shh. If you're done, you can stay quiet. So other people can focus, please. Good. What is that, your width? Keep going. Good, yeah. Okay, that's what you have left over, but then how many do you have to divide this by? How many sides are going to be the width? So what would be 20 divided by 2? What would you do? What number plus what number would equal 20? And they got to be the same number. No, hold on, we'll go through it. Sebastian, I can't see it if you're showing me backside. Good. Good, Mel. Good job. Yay, okay, hold up your whiteboards. Let's see.
Not that.
Okay, so 20 is what you have left over. So what would, if we have two sides and then together they're going to total what? Total numbers? They're going to total 20. So what does that mean each side is? Together, you have them up, they total 10. Or, I'm sorry, yes, you're right, they're both 10. Okay, here we go. So this is a little bit different than what we normally do. You have one more step to do, Jackie, before you get that number. Okay, so Aiden, what was the first thing that you did? Why did you add 15 plus 15?
Because to add that, that's one thing that'll help me get the width.
Okay, so you knew the length was 15, so we know this side's 15 yards. What is, you said you added them, what's 15 plus 15?
30.
So he knows that those two together is 30. And then what did you do with that?
And if I'm going to add 20, and if I subtract 20 by 10, then
How did you get 20 though?
because 3 plus 2 equals 50. Which is the proof.
3 plus 2 doesn't equal 50.
Powers of 10. Well, 30 plus 20 equals 50.
Okay, so he knew that if he took, his perimeter was 50 and he takes out 30, 50 minus 30 is how much left over? 20. So he knows the width, this side width plus this side width is going to equal 20.
And
And half
half of 10 is 10.
of 20 is 10. So he knew this side was 10 yards. And if this side's 10 yards, then the opposite side is 10 yards. So you will see problems like that today on our math worksheet and on the test on Friday of how to solve, go ahead, how to solve for the width or the length. If I give you the width and not the length, could you use the same strategy to solve?
Yes.
So make sure you're understanding that. Lexi, last question. Do you have to do the subtraction? It would help you. You could guess and check. Okay, I know 15 plus 15 is 30. Let's say I'm guessing checking. If I put 5 here and 5 here, that would only give me 10. That would equal 40 as my perimeter, and I still have to get to 50. So you could do that. Okay, my friends Ezekiel and Salvador, come get this. You may take this to Miss Debbie. She can help you with this today. Okay, paper pass routers, come on over, my new paper pass routers. Like I said, this worksheet is 6 questions only.
In the hallway?
And, no, you're going to the room. And, number 6, it says to make your own rectangle and solve for perimeter. So you get to draw your own rectangle and solve. Charlie, are you my paper passer? When you get done, huh? No, that's it. When you get done, there is an exit ticket for you to, it is on perimeter. So when you turn your worksheet in, you may grab yourself an exit ticket and then turn that in. I think that will take us to lunch, and then we will be done for the day. If you need to be back with me, thank you. So Addie, Sebastian, Brock, come back with me. Do you need to come back now, or are you feeling okay about it? If one of you try it, and if you're struggling, then you can come back. Does that work? What happened? Why are we limping?
I hit myself with a pole yesterday.
What?
Like,
Well, it didn't look like you hurt during wall ball. Charlie, do you need to come back with us? Do you need to come back here today? If you feel like you need to, Sebastian, coming back? Okay, good. I'm glad that you think you can do it on your own. That's awesome. Do you think you need your notes, buddy? All right, Addie and Brock, it might just be us two today. Okay, remember, there shouldn't be any talking unless you are quietly asking your neighbor for help. Otherwise, you finish your worksheet, you get your exit ticket. Okay? If you get done with both before it's lunchtime, but I don't think a lot of you will, then you can just silent read, but it needs to be quiet so we can focus. Perfect. Welcome, Mr. Charlie. Okay, so what do we know about number 1, Addie? Okay, and we know, do we have our length and our width? Perfect. So let's go ahead and try to solve. Well, no, that's going to be where your answer goes. So they've already given us the length and the width. So what can we do to solve?
so send 3 yards and you put
Perfect. Yep, that's what I would do.
I'm trying to fit it.
Yeah, or you could write it inside the box. That works. Let me see where you're at, Mr. Brock.
I'm gonna get a piece of paper.
So 8 plus 8 is what? Or 8 times 2? Well, what'd you do? You did 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8. 8, 9, 10, 11. Look at how good you did. You did awesome. Perfect. Keep going. You did that all in. Absolutely. Do you need scratch paper? Maybe you can do it on the back. You need scratch paper. Just flip your paper over.
Wait,
Okay, keep going. Good. Keep going, Brock. You did awesome. Done. Oh, look at how good you are. Okay. So this one, you're solving for what? So just like we did the last one on the board, what did we do? I left it up there for a reason. What did we do to solve for the width? So what do we know about our object? Did they give us one side already? What did they give us? 10. Okay. So is that the only side that would be 10? Okay, where else?
Oh, you get that coach?
Aiden. If she's going to help you, then please be respectful. Good. Keep going. Okay. Now, what do we know what should we do with those two? I don't know. Okay, Addie, now if you solved, go to the next one. Okay. And then what did we do up there? When we solved for our two sides, we took what was our perimeter? 15. And then what did we look at towards the bottom? It says 15 minus. Okay, so, and what would you do? Yeah, good, Mel. Which way? Okay, so what do we know about a square, Addie? Melanie knows. What do we know about a square, Mel? All have equal sides. So if this and this are 9 inches, what are these two going to be? 12. Did you get an exit ticket? Okay, you got to follow along. Sure. You got 12 left over. So these two added together are going to equal what? So what's 12 divided by 2? 12 cut in half. Or what times 2 equals 12? Remember, we can reverse it.
I'm gonna go look.
Okay, yeah, go get your multiplication chart if you need it.
This is like a square, like three, and it took
Say that again.
I looked at the threes and it had 12.
What times 2 equals 12? So maybe count by your 2s and see how many it takes to get to 12. Okay, this one's right. What do you do with this one?
You know what's good?
What did you do this? 99? Where'd you get 99?
You have 10 and 10.
I don't know
You
either.
have 20 then.
Remember, right?
20? Okay, so
But what do we do with our sides? When we roll over sides, what do we do? What'd you do here? You plus 8, what would you do? 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 7. You're done with both? Silent read. Or if you are done with both and you want to get your Chromebook, you may absolutely get your Chromebook and you can do ST Math. Go get your Chromebook, do ST Math. No, do ST Math. Will you write on the board exit ticket? And then under, pull that must do down, write exit ticket and ST Math. How we doing? Good. Okay, I'll help you. So Mel and Brock, you're almost at the same point. Let's see where you're at, Brock. So you know that if this is 10, then this is 10. And what would we do with those two numbers? Add them together and we get what? Uh-huh. And then what did you do, Melanie?
I did 32.20.
She took her perimeter, which is how much, Brock? And she subtracted, what did those equal together?
Yeah, Addie's on the same.
Together. So she took 32 minus 20, and that's how much perimeter she has left over. And then, so what's 32 minus 20? 32 minus, so Mel figured it out.
You can stack them up.
So then, if we know that we have 12 left over, but we have to split that between the two sides, what plus what equals 12? That's the same number. So then both of those sides, our width would be, good job.
Yay!
Sebastian, if you're done with your exit tickets, then get your Chromebook. Okay. Let's see where you're at. Okay, so this one is just like the one we did on the board,
And
where
then I'm
we
gonna
knew the perimeter, we knew the length, so we had to solve for the width. It's a rectangle. That's definitely a rectangle. If the width, I think this goes with this. If the width of the fence playground is 50 meters, what's the length? Okay. Keely, did you need to be back here with us, sweetheart? Let me see. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, come sit right here. And then maybe bring your notes over so you can have you reference your notes, okay? Okay, Addie, good job. Keep going. Number 4. They give you both of your sides. You need to solve. Well, both sides together when we add them up would be 12. So if we cut 12 in half evenly, how many would we have? What plus what equals 12? Same number. See how this one was 10 plus 10? What would this be? That's the same number that equals 12. Shh. You guys can help each other quietly, please. Riley, Chromebook, ST Math. Or what times 2 equals 12, Charlie? Length.
Okay, so 2 times 6.
And then your width is 2 times 6. So both of these sides are going to equal because 6 plus 6 would equal 12.
Rob, which one are you on?
Haley, where's your notes?
Okay, we'll wait for you on number 5, okay?
You guys can keep going if you have number 5, or you have number 4 done, you can go to number 5. So Haley, what do I know about how to solve perimeter? What do I need to do?
See, you can even, I don't know if I do. Yeah, just nothing.
Okay, if I know this is 8 yards, is there another side that's the same? You can write it inside the box. That's number 6. You make your own. Solve for number 5 first.
But they don't give us any numbers.
But what do you know? If they don't give you any numbers,
Which one are these? The same size.
what type of shape is it?
That's all equal size.
If it's a square, then we have.
All equal numbers.
So what could you do if you had to add up all your sides? You have to figure out. What could you use? Okay, well, let's start there. What's 12 times how many times?
4.
What's 12 times 4? And then see if it equals 60. And if it does, then you are correct and that's your answer. And look what Addie's doing. She's just doing 12. Well, you don't have 5 sides. How many sides do you have? Does it equal it? 12 times 4, does it equal 60? No? It doesn't. Okay. But is it under 60 or is it over 60? What's 12 times 4? Do ST math.
48.
12 times 4, 48. So do we need to go higher numbers or lower numbers than 12?
Higher.
Okay, so what could we do our next one? Do this one. Same way you solved this.
I was just trying to tell you. 20.
Try 20. What's 20 times 4? Oh, this is the same way you're going to solve this. Same way, just in different numbers. Shh. If you're done, you are working on ST Math quietly. What's 20 times 4? Let's count by 20s. 20, 40, 80. So that's way too high. So we know we're not 12. We know we're not 20. We got to figure out what's in the middle of there. 10 in between 12 and 20.
Wait, 15?
Let's try 15. What's 15 times 4? Or how else could you do it, Addie?
What times 15?
15 times 4 or 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15. Try that and see if that equals 60. Alright. If you know this is 8, what do you know about this side? Hey, write it. If you know that this is 8, then you know that this is 8, right? Okay. Sebastian, you can be quiet when you're helping him, okay?
So we write what now?
Well, did you figure it out? What's 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15? So then you know each side equals 15. Good. Now go to your next one. Good. Solve that, Kaylee. You did it. What's that equal?
Oh, guys, did you put your name? The name's on
This one. What do you know about this thing? Don't forget to put your name on these. The name spot's on the bottom. If you put it on the top, that's fine. But don't forget your name. That's fine. You put it, as long as your name's on it somewhere. What do you know about this? What kind of shape is it?
Okay.
What do we know about the square?
I did it. You could just put like okay, numbers in.
What do I know about a square? What did we know about this square?
Also, you can make your own square.
Well, what is all the
Let's
sides
make a
are
rectangle. That's a square, not a
the
rectangle.
same, right? So if I know this square, this is a square, what do I know about all the sides?
And solve the perimeter.
They all equal the same thing. So now you know your perimeter. So what do you have to do? You have to figure out how much each side equals, and if you add them all up, what are they going to equal? And they're all going to be what? The same number. So like this wouldn't be 10, and this would be 12, and this would be what, 10? Same number. So 60, what could your equation be?
Okay, what's that 12 It's a rectangle.
How many
Any
sides?
square can have that.
60 divided by 4. You figure that out. Or you could do it the opposite way and say, what
A square only has
times 4 equals, so maybe you need your multiplication chart. Kaylee. Good. 18 plus 18, what's that equal? Which means so good. Good job. Keep going, babe. You're on the right track. Keep going.
And he's gonna use that number.
20 plus 20 is 40. 10. Good job. Turn it in and then go get your exit ticket. Good job, Brock.
I did it.
24 on top.
48. I did
13. Where are we getting
48.
13? Where are you getting 5? How many sides do we have?
I didn't look at mine. I just did 20, 20.
So maybe go look
Four,
at the
four.
multiplication chart and go figure out
Hey.
4 times
Wanna
what.
work on the
What equals
ticket
6?
together?
It'll be up there. If you're done, you may get it. Go to exit ticket. Laura, get going on ST Math, please. Sebastian, turn around. Finish up what you're doing, please. You working on this one, adding them all up. Good job, Addie. How do you feel
so
about this?
dumb. I should have done that.
Perimeter.
6 times 10.
The more practice we get, the better, right? You can do that at your desk.
I'm so dumb.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Okay. I don't know how to put it.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's a square or
This is the perimeter. It's for on the exit ticket number 4. They give you the perimeter and they give you the width. So you need to solve for the length. Go no, you're look down. Go look up
I
there.
already did. It's 6 times 10, right?
Well, we're not doing 6 or 10. So that would be we don't have 6 sides. We have how many sides?
You want to work together?
4 times what equals 6. You got it, Charlie. Okay, let's see. Yes, go ahead quickly, girls. We only have like 5 minutes, okay? Okay, so what, we need to add these 2 numbers up, right? What if we stack them? Is that easier for you? Like this? Okay. 18 plus 8.
2 out of 8 you get 6.
Well, let's just solve it this way. What's 8 plus 8? And you can use your what? You use your fingers. What's 8 plus 8? Or 8 times 2? You know? Or start at 8 and let's add 8 more. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we put our 6 here and we carry the, and then what do we have? Good, there's our answer, 36. Good job. Go get that red one on the whiteboard. Go get it. Hurry, hurry. Okay, let's go to our next one, Kaylee. Shh, there really shouldn't be talking. Lex, what is that? Okay, that could be done outside of the classroom. Get to work, please. Okay, if they given us, did they give us the length and the width? No, what'd they give us?
They said solve for the width.
Okay, so we need to solve for the width. So what's the first thing we do? So every side equals
4. Wait, no. No.
good. 15 on each side. Good job. And then this one you draw your own. Good job, Charlie. You want to do that one since that's the one he's on? So if we know this is 10, where else do we know it might be 10? Good. And if we add those 2 up together, Aiden, what are you working on, please? For what? He can do it on his own. Laura, you're still not logged in. And I just asked you to get going, and you still weren't logged in then. Get logged in, please. Sebastian, don't talk to her anymore, please. So what do I know? This plus this equals what, Kaylee?
Equals 20.
Okay.
To get to that.
Okay, so remember, I left our example on the board. If we know the perimeter, we took the perimeter and we took away what?
Took away half of it.
We would take away what we know, right? Which is how much?
Which is
10 plus 10 is?
20.
So we could do 32 minus 20. What would that give us? Solve that one.
What's your second favorite number?
I don't care. Just make up whatever you want to do.
No, I just like saying what's your second favorite number?
8.
So that's why you put in 25 and 8. I see.
Oh no, that's not how, but that's funny. Good. 3 minus 2 is? Or start at 2 and count to 3. How many does it take? Remember that reverse counting Miss McGow showed you? Start at 2 and count to 3. How many does it take? 2, 3. How How many is that? Okay, so now we have 12 left over, but we know this side plus this side is going to equal. So what would those sides be worth? Good, you're done. Go turn it in and get your exit ticket. Put your name at the bottom, please.
But I barely.
Oh, you have to solve. You're right. Oh, that's how you fix it. Sorry, babe. But what plus what equals 12? Same number. Or what times 2 equals 12? What's 2 times what would equal 12, Kaylee? I know you know that. Hey, class.
Yes. Yes.
How far did you get? Okay, that's not gonna work next time. Okay, you're here from now on. You don't get the privilege to sit wherever you want next time. Okay, if you are in that back counter space, Olivia, Adrian, Riley, Laura, go put your Chromebooks away, please. If you are sitting at the back, along the back wall, go put your Chromebooks away, please, and then find your seat, and I will release you quietly by table.
62.
Good job, Charlie. Good job, baby. Good, turn that in. What's half of 12?
Oh, I didn't get to do the extra.
It's okay. Don't worry today. You did good, buddy. As long as you're getting the main concept, Charlie, that's what I want. Okay, table 4 and 5 and 3. You may quietly put your Chromebooks away. Okay, so if I know that I have 12 left over, what's half of 12? We're going to sit at our desk and wait quietly. Okay, we'll work on this more later this afternoon, okay? Okay, I'll hold this for you, sweetheart. Oh, can you put your name at the bottom for your name? Thank you. We might have you do that, Miss. Thank you.
This is easy.
How did that go?
Easy. But he's still, I think I'm like 3. Oh.
Hey, Aiden and Kalia, I told you to put your Chromebooks away. Table 1 and 2, put your Chromebooks away. No, not yet.